Hello, my beautiful souls. It's your girl, Tina Marie J. Excuse me if I don't sound too energetic. It's a bit late, so I'm trying to just like keep it down. You know, when I get really excited with my conversations with certain topics, I can get a little like, ah. So I'm trying to like stay chill. Also, excuse me if I keep clearing my throat. I have my allergies are just like really acting up in my throat right now. So, first of all, thank you for coming and checking out my channel. I appreciate every single person who watches, whether you're subscribed or not. The fact that you watch and you take the time to listen, that means a lot to me. That's all I really even ask. Um, but if you do enjoy the channel, do subscribe and make sure you press the bell notification so that you know anytime I have a video that comes out, because YouTube will not let you know unless you press that personalized. No, don't put personalized. I think you're supposed to, you know what? I don't remember. But there's like three bells in there. So the one all the way on top, that's the one you got to press. All right. So that way you get notified when the video comes out. And also, feel free to leave a comment. Leave a comment. Let me know what your experience is, if this video has helped you. And if you want to follow me on social media, Instagram at Tina Marie _ J. I have it here on the screen. That is where you can find me. So I do respond to DMs a lot quicker than emails. I don't get to emails as quickly, but DMs I respond a lot better. So if you want to ever reach out to me, you can always talk to me through there. All right, I don't want to take too long getting into this because I hate long intros, but today I want to talk about victimization. I want to talk about the victim mentality. Is victimization a word? I think it is. I'm gonna have to Google it. But anyway, now it's a word. So, uh, if you don't know about me, I was a Christian for basically my entire life, and then I was a member of the ICOC, which stands for the International Churches of Christ, and ended up being a cult, and so that's how this channel came up. So now I am no longer a Christian. Now I am. I don't like labels, but I consider myself to be a spiritual person. All right, so that is where I stand. So, the victim mentality. Uh, First of all, if you've left religion and you've been hurt by religion, then this video is for you. If you've left a cult, any kind of cult, it doesn't have to be a Christian cult, it could be any kind of cult. And if you've left a cult, then this video can be for you as well. So I do speak to a lot of people who reach out asking for advice and things like that. And one thing that I do notice, I do pick up on, is that a lot of people, unfortunately, have a victim mentality. They don't realize that they have it, but they do. And you hear it in the way that they say certain things, the way that they speak, the way that they refer to themselves, the way that they describe themselves, the way they describe their life and situations and how they respond to those situations. That's how you can tell if someone has a victim kind of state of mind. So having a victim mentality, that's not something to be ashamed of. It doesn't make you a bad person or stupid or any of that. It's not a woe is me thing. It's something that we tend to do, but we just don't really realize it. But once you realize it and you catch on and you start to learn like how to not think like a victim, you will see your life change. You will see things shift. So, first of all, when I left the church that I was in, the ICOC, uh, I don't I don't really remember thinking of myself as a victim, because I always kind of felt like that belonged to people who went through something super duper traumatic. Not that what I went through wasn't traumatic. I mean, everyone's level of trauma when it comes to cults and leaving any religion is different. It varies from person to person. But I just always think to myself, like, okay, somebody else is going through something worse than this. That's just me personally. That's just how I've always been. But a lot of people do fall for the victim mentality. When I left, I didn't necessarily feel bad for myself. It was more so like, wow, this feels so messed up because now I feel so alone. I don't know what to do. I don't know what I believe. I'm so confused. A lot of people who said they were down with me, that supported me, they were supposed to be my friends, they all bounced on me. I'm by myself. That was really how I felt. It wasn't until when I was making videos and people would refer to me as a victim. And then that's when I thought to myself, like, victim? I'm not a victim. I'm just somebody who was in a cult, and, I kind of got a bit brainwashed. I mean, I left the cult being afraid of everything. I would cross the street and think to myself, what if my final moments are here coming up and I get hit by a car because of the fact that I left this cult? And this sounds very dramatic. Trust me, I know, but this is the type of crap they put in your head. So other people would think I was a victim because I went through some sort of a bit of mental abuse. I did have a difficult time during my membership. But even though that was the case, even though, yes, I did have a difficult time, yes, it kind of did mess me up for a bit mentally and psychologically because I am prone to anxiety, panic attacks, and long-term depression. I am. But I didn't want to consider myself as being a victim because of the fact that I felt like that takes power away from me. I felt like by me calling myself a victim, saying, oh, I am a victim of occults, I am a victim of religious abuse, of spiritual toxicity, I am the victim, it's me. By me saying that, I feel personally, this is just me, like I am giving my power away. So now they win. You see what I'm saying? Like, now the people who hurt me win because I have been made to be their victim. I needed to find a way to heal because I was not trying to live my life in fear and anxiety and panic and shame and depression. I'm a mom, and I'm still young. I'm in my 30s. I have a long life to live where I cannot worry about yesterday. I have to move on for tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that. And so by me claiming that title, victim, it didn't fit. So I decided not to call myself a victim. And anytime someone calls me that, I address it. Not in a disrespectful way. I don't get offended. I just have to correct it because I feel that it's made a change in me the day that I decided I wasn't going to allow myself to even think of myself as a victim. It changed a lot of things. And the reason why it changed a lot of things in my thinking is because of my wording changed. And with that, my wording began to change with other things as well. Like I started to really be careful with my thoughts, what I was thinking, what I was saying. And these things is what helped me heal. These very simple things. How you think means so much more than anything else. It matters so much more than you realize. What we think and what we speak out into the atmosphere, that really makes and creates a lot of things. And so when you really start to become consciously aware of what you're thinking and what you're speaking out, you start to notice that your life and how you think of things starts to shift a bit because you're changing your thinking. You're changing, you're undoing that pattern, the toxic way of thinking. And this is also what I did to help me um, remove my brainwashed mindset, the mind that they gave me, because I literally felt like I had a whole different mind when I was in religion and when I was in the cult. And the way that I was able to undo the toxic and negative thinking that I was put into my head, thinking I'm gonna go to hell, I'm a sinner, I'm not worthy, all of these things. It was all by me changing my thoughts, changing what I was saying verbally out of my own mouth. That was what helped me to be able to heal. And so if you Pay a lot of attention. Pay a lot of attention with what you say about yourself. If you think of yourself, even if you don't say it out loud, the fact that you think of yourself as a victim, like, oh, I'm a victim of a cult, I'm a victim of spiritual abuse, I'm a spiritual abuse victim, you're going to treat yourself as a victim. And so this is the next point that I want to get to. Treating yourself as a victim means you're limiting yourself to what you can become, because you're portraying yourself, you're claiming yourself to be this person, you're claiming yourself to be a victim. By the way, it's 11:11 in case anyone believes in angel numbers. My friend who watches knows what I'm talking about. When you claim yourself as a victim, you're not allowing yourself to go beyond your limits of who you can be, because you will always have that thought, well, it's because of my past. I just can't get over it. I just can't heal. It's because I just can't. This is what happens when you have a victim mentality. Now, please, before I continue, don't get me wrong. I am not trying to bash or take light anyone who has been hurt by a cult or religion, because I completely understand how that is. I'm only being 100% honest. I don't know how to be any other way. And it's all with 100% love. But you have to get yourself to a place where you realize that you are limiting who you can become by continually calling yourself a victim of spiritual abuse, or a victim of a cult, or a victim of Christian abuse, and you're suffering from PTSD. You'd be surprised. People do suffer from this all because of religion and cults, and we just don't hear about it enough. Now, this is not to say, this is my third point. This is not to say that you were not a victim. I am not at all minimizing your experience at all, because I know exactly how it feels. It really messes with you psychologically. It really does. You were a victim. Put it like that. Think of it like that. You were a victim. You were a victim of spiritual abuse. You were a victim of a cult. You were a victim of whatever toxicity you went through, whatever brainwashing. You were a victim, because at that time, while you were a victim, you did not realize you were a victim. So you continue to be a victim. You continue to keep yourself on that level where you cannot progress. You stayed a part of that group. You stayed a part of that religion. You stayed a part of whatever it was. I'm not saying if you're in religion, by the way, that you're a victim. I'm talking about the people who experience religion, but in a very abusive kind of way, like in a way that's not healthy, a very toxic kind of way. So you were a victim then, but you're not a part of it anymore. So when you think about it, what excuses do you have not to move on with your life? Now, saying move on with your life is not saying get over it, because you can't get over any of that. You will never, ever get over what you went through. You won't. I'll tell you right now, you won't. But that does not mean that you can't get through it. You'll get through it. You'll grow through it, better yet, is what I really like to say. You'll grow through what you went through, but you won't ever get over it like, okay, that was the past and that's it. Unless it hasn't affected you in that way. But that doesn't mean that you're never going to be happy or find peace again. That is not at all what it means. However, if you do keep yourself in that victim mentality, that victim state of mind, then yes, you are going to stay exactly where you are, and you're not going to grow. You're not going to grow through it. You're just going to stay stuck on it. And then every day is going to pass. And then the months are going to pass. And then next thing you know, the years are going to pass. And you're going to be in the exact same spot you were before. And you have not grown. And I am telling you right now that it is 1,000,000% possible for you to grow from where you were. You're not there anymore. So stop putting yourself in this victim state of mind. Stop allowing what happened in the past, because even though, yes, it may have been recent, but it wasn't today, it was yesterday, that's the past. That was 2020, that was 2019, that was 2018, that was the past. You need to focus on what's going on now, or else you'll continue to live in that past. So understand that you can literally do whatever the hell you want to do. And I'm not saying it in a way like, oh, go out there and get crazy. Have morals, of course, dignity, respect. Have some compassion, have empathy, have love, have authenticity. But be you and live your freaking life. Don't allow what happened in your past to keep you a victim today, because you're not a freaking victim. You're not. If you have been watching my videos, if my videos have been helping you, whether you just started watching or you've been with me since I started this, you're not a victim, because you're doing exactly what you need to do to help yourself heal. You're listening to someone else's experience, because really, I'm a regular person. I'm not any more special than anybody listening. I am me. I'm just a regular person. But I'm a regular person who decided to take certain steps to avoid having to go in a direction that was going to lead me nowhere, where I'd be going in circles. I didn't want that, because this is my one life. I'm living it. And then I use my story and my experiences and what I know and what I research and what I learn, and I use it to help other people. That's all I'm doing. I'm a regular person, and you're listening to me, and you're getting the help that you need to help yourself to feel like, all right, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one who feels this way. I'm not the only one who's gone through this. I'm not the only one. That right there is not a victim. A victim does not help themselves in that moment. They remain in that moment as a victim. You are somebody who is now a victor. I don't know if you ever heard, oh God, what's his name? I know you guys know. My mom listens to him, that pastor. I cannot remember his name, but he has like a couple of books out or whatever. He's a prosperity teacher. My mom, she loves him. But he says that he talks about victim. I think like I have like his book, or like I read something, or I probably watched something. I don't remember, because I have his book, but I also used to watch him back then. But he talks about being a victim and being a victor. I didn't like come up with this video off of that, but it reminded me, like I remember, like, oh wait, he said the same thing. But you're victorious. Like you got out. You're overcoming it. You're growing past it. You're getting through it. That's the stuff you have to say to yourself. That's the type of stuff, because like I said before, you have to be careful of what you say. You have to be careful with what you refer to yourself as. If you call yourself a victim, if you, like, honestly, even the word cult survivor, I do not like that word. I don't use it. I use it a couple of times in the beginning, but then it never felt right, and so I stopped. I'm not a survivor. I'm not. I just don't feel like I'm some survivor. Like, ooh, I survived a cult. I mean, if they were going to try to kill me, I feel like that would be different, because I feel like I would have less control over helping myself, because in that situation, I'd probably be held hostage. But the situation I was in, I could have took the steps I needed to do to leave. I just didn't, because I wanted to go where my husband was going. So I don't consider myself a survivor, and I just consider myself someone who was in a cult, someone who was a part of religion and left and saw things different, and is now very happy and very content, and I'm very, very, very much so at peace in comparison to what I was before. That's it. I'm just someone who, like, I try my hardest to be very careful with the words that I speak. So this isn't part of the this isn't even part of the video, but I'm going to mention it anyway. I've mentioned this a couple of times. I'm like very passionate about this when it comes to what you say, the words you say. So our words are so strong. We can hurt people with our words. We can we can really put somebody out with our words, but we don't think about what we could do with ourselves with our words. We hear about what our words could do to somebody else, but we don't stop and think about or ever hear about what it could do to us. When I stopped going to church, I tried to go to a new one thinking, okay, maybe I could find another one that's going to be good. It's not going to be controlling and crazy and psycho like the one I was in for 7 years, which was the ICOC. I tried to go to new ones, but I could not do it because I felt like I just didn't like the energy anymore. Like I would go and they'd be on the stage and they'd be putting their hands up and they'd be praising God in a way where like they start crying and they're talking about how unworthy they are, and I'd be sitting there thinking like, no, but I feel pretty worthy. And I'm not saying that in a cocky way. I don't understand why I wouldn't be worthy. I didn't ask to come into this earth. I'm not saying I'm entitled to everything, but I am worthy. So I just couldn't rock with it. I was just like, this doesn't feel right. And that never really felt right for me. It actually used to depress me. Um, but one day I went up to the front and my husband was up there. Actually, he went up with me. We had gone through something in our relationship that was really, really difficult. And it took a bit for me. Like, it really took a lot out of me. So when we went to church that day, I went up to the front and then he came up to support me. And I felt like I wasn't really asking God for forgiveness. I wasn't asking, praying Jesus into my heart again. It was nothing like that. Like, I think that's what everybody thought just because I went up there, but it wasn't. Um, it was more like me releasing and saying, I'm sorry, but I just don't believe in this anymore. Like, I believe you're out there, God. I believe you exist in some way, in some form, in some sort of light, but this church thing and organized religion, Christianity, which I was raised up in, and just throwing my arms up and praising and getting on my knees and like none of these things feel right to me anymore. And so it was more so like I was releasing it and I was crying so much. Like I was really going through it. But I changed my words. I did not say, I'm not worthy, God, please forgive me. I'm nothing without you, dear Lord. I'm not worthy. I didn't. Everybody else was saying that around me, but I didn't say that. I didn't. I just talked to God. I was very honest, and that was very hard for me because I was afraid of where is my life going to go now? Who's going to direct it for me? What am I going to do? I was still kind of in limbo with my beliefs. I wasn't sure. Like, I knew I was an atheist, but I definitely was not like a Bible believer anymore because at that time I was like researching and stuff like that and learning different things, and then I was learning about this topic, what we're talking about now, which is how like our words can have so much power, and I was learning about that, and that just made me feel like the energy of me being in church, it didn't feel right. So after that, no matter what church I went to, no matter what church I visited, I just never felt right. And now things have changed because my mental has changed because I've changed my words. I've changed my words, and instead of victimizing myself, I have I speak words of affirmation, positive affirmation. I always start with I am. It's very powerful when you do that. And I continue. I continue it like that. And if there's a negative thought, I try my best not that I try not to think it because we're human, but I don't entertain it. And if I do entertain it, I always get myself back on track. I've trained myself to be able to do that, and I'm still training myself every day. And these are the type of things that I want to speak more on my channel about. I want to speak more on not just being in religion and how that affected me, or being in a cult, but being out of it, getting out of it, entering something different, a different way of thinking. Um, I'm, like I said before, like, consider myself spiritual. I've been getting some people who've been subscribing to my channel that never was in a cult, but they were a part of religion, and now they're a part of spirituality. So they have questions. And so I really am looking forward to expanding my channel and growing it to where it's about more than just cults and religion. I want to keep it in the same kind of, like, stay in tune with it, but I really, really want you guys to understand life outside of it when you've decided to leave, like, religion mainly. And just the things that I learned that I feel I could help other people with, especially women. So I'm really looking forward to this. I'm not saying that I'm not gonna speak about religion or cults anymore, but that's not all this channel is gonna be about, because I don't feel the same satisfaction I felt before when I used to talk about cults. I do it more so because I definitely want to help people and I am passionate about speaking about it, but I have other things that I want to share with you guys that can help you. So after you leave and you're moving on with your life and you're trying to rebuild and learning yourself, especially if you're spiritual, you're into spirituality, I want to be able to help you to see how to adjust to life after, to see that life does go on. You do go on with life. You will find peace. You will find that happiness. You will find that love. You will find that real, genuine, authentic friendships that you think you lost in whatever group you were in before, religion you were in before, but you will find the real ones, the real down ones that are there for you because they love who you are, not what you believe in or what you follow or what you read, but who you really genuinely are. And that's just something that I'm real passionate about, because I see how my thinking has changed so much over these couple of years, and especially 2020. A lot of things have changed for me in the craziest way. And it's been really, really rough, but I've really made it through, and I'm still making it. And I want you to see that you can make it too. I don't want other people to think, because they're going through something, like, oh, I'm going through something, so that means I might never get through this. I'm going through this because I don't read my Bible anymore, because I left God. This is why I'm going through this, and I'm never going to be normal. I'm never going to be happy. I'm never going to be the same again. No, I don't want you to think that. You're going to think that. Yes, I thought that too. But I also know what happens after. Like, I know what's on the other side of that. And I know that on the other side of that is happiness and peace and contentment and love and security. And you can see that. You can find that for yourself. And what really pushes me to continue to think like that is when I think about how life is not guaranteed. Look how many people passed away in 2020. Look how many people we lost. Life is not guaranteed to none of us. We don't know what's after this. No matter what you believe in and how hard you believe in it, you don't know. But we know what we have now, and what we have now we have to work with, and we have to. And I'm sorry I'm dragging this video out, but this is a very important message. So whoever needs to hear this, my intentions is that you do, and I don't care if it's only a handful, as long as you hear it. You have today, and you have to live for today, and you have to live for tomorrow, but you cannot live in yesterday. You can't. You got to move forward. So that's pretty much it. Uh, I really do appreciate you guys listening to my videos, and I apologize that I do not post as much as I really, really should. Um, Things have been really busy. As you guys know, I've been working on my new Dope Soul course, which, by the way, uh, I have in the description box below the link to my mailing list so that if you want more information on my Dope Soul course, I am going to be conducting a coaching course for 8 weeks, which is meant to help anyone who was a part of a cult or who was a part of a very toxic group or religion, and you're having a hard time getting rid of the brainwashing that was done to you, and you're finding yourself feeling like you're never going to be happy again and you're never going to be at peace again. And so my course is going to help you step by step, and I'm going to actually work with you myself and in group coaching as well. And so I'm super excited about that. So I've been working on that. I'm also working remote most of the time. I work from home like 4 days out the week. No, 3 days out the week. I'm sorry. And then 2 days out the week, I'm at my job. And I would much rather be home because I actually love being home. And then my kids are also remote. So, guys, I have a life outside of YouTube, but I promise you, I'm going to get it together. I'm going to get it together. So if you stuck with me this long, I appreciate you so much. If you enjoyed this video, please do give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you thought about this video down below in the description. In the comment section. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook. My new email address is down below. It's Gmail. I leveled up finally. So go check that out in case you want to get in touch with me. Stay safe, stay sanitized, and I'll see you guys in the next video.